Tuesday, September 26, 2017 Health Day News. Combining radiation therapy with chemotherapy has substantially extended survival for many people with lung cancer, two new studies report. About 32% of non-small cell lung cancer patients who received chemoradiation therapy were still alive 5 years following treatment, a survival rate double that of previous estimates, according to results from a long-term clinical trial. Further, a small second clinical trial of people with lung cancer that had already spread to other parts of the body showed that radiation therapy added to chemo dramatically slowed the time until these cancers progressed further. The two studies show that radiation therapy and chemotherapy work well together, and that radiation also might help patients who are undergoing newer forms of cancer treatment like targeted therapy and immunotherapy, said Dr. Benjamin Moses, a radiation oncologist with the Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit. Instead of becoming less important, radiation therapy is becoming more important, Moses said. Both studies were presented Sunday at the American Society of Radiation Oncology's annual meeting, in San Diego. Findings presented at meetings are typically viewed as preliminary until they've been published in a peer-reviewed journal. Chemotherapy's advantage is that it can attack cancer anywhere in the body, even cancer cells doctors haven't found, Moses said. It goes around the entire body through the bloodstream, he said. If there are residual cancer cells that may have spread from the initial site, this is a way to address those. But chemotherapy often can't kill off a solid tumor completely. Focused radiation can step in and destroy those clumps of cancer cells, acting in conjunction with chemo, explained Moses, who was not involved with the studies. The first presentation involved long-term results from a major chemoradiation therapy trial that started in 2006. The study involved more than 500 patients treated at 185 hospitals in the United States and Canada. They all had inoperable stage 3 lung cancer that had not spread to other parts of the body. The researchers reported that the overall 5-year survival rate from this combination therapy was 32%, more than twice as high as previous estimates. That's the new benchmark for stage 3 lung cancer. About 1/3 of patients are alive at 5 years, said Principal Investigator Drive. Jeffrey Bradley, HE's director of the S.L. King Center for Proton Therapy at the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. 1/3 of patients are alive at 5 years. That's as close to cure as you can get, Moses said. For me, that's a real step forward and a very, very promising result. The second study looked into whether radiation therapy could be added to chemo to control cancer that had spread into other parts of the body such as the brain, liver, bone and pancreas. For this clinical trial, researchers used radiation therapy on 14 patients whose lung cancer had spread to 6 or fewer sites elsewhere in the body. Beam radiation targeted both the main tumor and the new cancer sites. Patients were recruited between April 2014 and July 2016. 31 cancerous lesions were treated with radiation in the 14 patients. People who received chemoradiation experienced a remission nearly triple that of a 15-person control group who got just chemotherapy 9.7 months compared with 3.5 months, said lead researcher Drive. Punith Iyengar. Only 4 of those who received radiation therapy have had renewed progression of their cancer, compared with 10 out of 15 patients in the Chemunli group, Iyengar said. He's an assistant professor of radiation oncology at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas. The chemoradiation patients didn't have any cancer recurrences, failures within the areas that were irradiated, whereas a multitude of patients in the control group failed in areas that would have gotten radiation had they been in that arm of the trial, Iyengar said. Clearly, local radiation treatment improved the control of the disease and also delayed the time to progression, Iyengar concluded. Moses called these results a paradigm shift in the way radiation therapy can help treat patients with advanced lung cancer. This is really changing the way we are thinking about patients with lung cancer that has spread to certain areas, Moses said. In both clinical trials, chemoradiation therapy had side effects similar to those produced by chemotherapy alone, Moses added. Overall, it was pretty well tolerated, he said. More information to learn more about lung cancer treatment, visit the American Cancer Society. Sources: Benjamin Moses, MD, radiation oncologist, Henry Ford Hospital, Detroit. Jeffrey Bradley, MD, Director, S.L. King Center for Proton Therapy, Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. Punith Iyengar, MD, Ph. D. Assistant Professor, Radiation Oncology, University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, Dallas, September 24, 2017. Presentations: American Society of Radiation Oncology Meeting, San Diego, last updated September 27, 2017.